Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Jimmy Williams. Join Petty Officer Christina Brockman and me on Navy Marine Corps News. This week, we come to you from Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton for the premiere of Ironman California. We will introduce to you Navy and Marine Corps athletes competing in this grueling triple sport race and track them on the course. And you will see two Navy and Marine Corps units whose commitment as volunteers helped make the event a success. These stories and more on Navy Marine Corps News.
This week on Navy Marine Corps News, we come to you from Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton for the premiere of Ironman California. We'll introduce you to Navy and Marine Corps athletes competing in this grueling triple sport race and track them on the course. And you'll see two Navy and Marine Corps units whose commitment as volunteers helped make the event a success. These stories and more next on Navy Marine Corps News.
Hi, I'm Lori Bowden, 1999 Ironman World Champion, and you're watching Navy Marine Corps News.
Hi, and welcome to Navy Marine Corps News. I'm Petty Officer Christina Brockman.
And I'm Staff Sergeant Jimmy Williams.
We're coming to you this week from Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, home of the 1st Marine Expeditionary Force.
Camp Pendleton is home to more than 33,000 Marines, sailors, and their families.
And this year, for the first time, a military base is hosting an event slightly more demanding than your typical PT session, the Ironman Triathlon.
Petty Officer Lisa Borges takes a look at what the Ironman is all about.
They will achieve what seems to be the impossible. They will swim 2.4 miles, bike 112 miles, and finish with a 26.2-mile marathon run. And they will do it all in less than 17 hours. More than 1,600 super athletes, including sailors and Marines, are here at Camp Pendleton from all over the world to compete in the first ever Ironman California Triathlon.
It is going to be an extremely challenging course. The swim is going in the Camp Pendleton Boat Basin, which is an old basin that was built back in the 50s in order to transport Marine Corps troops and their equipment. And the bike course is very challenging. It's going to be hilly. The run is fairly flat. About 6 or 7 miles of that will take place on Camp Pendleton, and the remainder of the 26.2 miles will take place on the streets of Oceanside.
The original Ironman Triathlon started 22 years ago in Hawaii, but the actual sport triathlon started right here.
It's amazing to have an Ironman in California because this is basically where triathlon started in California, so it's almost equally amazing that there hasn't been an Ironman here before.
And what an amazing opportunity for sailors and Marines to see world-class athletes up close.
Live makes everything better, so seeing all the hard work, getting to meet some of the athletes is pretty impressive.
I think it's an exciting thing in particular to come to Camp Pendleton. It's promoting athleticism for Marines and the sailors that work here. I would just hope it encourages other Marines and sailors to get out here and get involved in something like this. It's only going to improve their performance on the job.
For those who are not quite up to the challenge of a triathlon, Camp Pendleton sponsored other events such as a children's 1K and a 5K run walk for adults. If running wasn't enough, Ironman Village offered food, shopping, and a look at various sports gear. Competitors may leave this Ironman Triathlon an Ironman, or spectators may be inspired to compete someday. No matter what, everyone benefits from this Camp Pendleton experience. Petty Officer Lisa Borges, Navy Marine Corps News.
You can literally feel the excitement in the air as the athletes go through their final preparations for the race.
I can only imagine what athletes have done to get ready for this.
One thing is certain, our core values of honor, courage, and commitment play a major role in that preparation for every athlete.
Petty Officer Miranda Williams caught up with 3 of the competitors in the weeks preceding the event.
Some have experienced it firsthand. Others have only seen it on TV.
Well, I've been doing triathlons since 1996 now, and you start off with the small ones and you always see TV and you see, you know, Ironman Hawaii, the national championships, and it's pretty motivating.
This desire to be an Ironman consumes many triathletes. Achieving that goal is an awesome challenge, and for sailors and Marines, it can seem almost impossible.
Being in the Navy, our job does come first. The rest of it is add-on. It's scheduling time. You know, people say, how do you do all that? Working up for this Ironman, I'm training about 15, 16 hours a week, which I consider about minimal to complete this in a realistic time. It's hard to explain to someone why you do it. Running an Ironman is not for fitness. It's to accomplish something. What I do is beyond fitness. It's a hobby, it's a lifestyle.
For one Marine, training for the Ironman is more than a lifestyle change. It's a personal challenge inspired by the Marine Corps.
I was a farmer up until I was 24 years old and really didn't participate in sports. And then I joined the Marine Corps. As a result of that, I had to be fit, so I started running, and if I had not joined the Marine Corps, there's no question I would have never gotten into athletics. For me, it's a privilege and an honor to race as a Marine in this event.
These triathletes' dedication impresses fellow Marines and sailors.
It inspires me. I think it's awesome. I really admire triathletes, especially people who are competing for Ironman.
It sets a very, very positive example for Marines all in general, not just male Marines or just female Marines, for everybody. It just shows that, you know, anybody can do whatever they want to do as long as they put their mind to it.
On race day, many triathletes will not have the mental or physical stamina to cross the finish line. For First Lieutenant Dienhart, Senior Chief Myers, and Gunnery Sergeant Fredericks, the thought of quitting is far from their minds.
If I have to, I'll walk. The goal is to finish, and the only thing you can do is keep going. I'm an Ironman.
I'm Petty Officer Miranda Williams, Navy Marine Corps News.
Sailors and Marines are expected to stay in peak physical condition, but these triathletes take fitness to the next level.
In addition to those three, race officials estimate military competitors may number as many as 200.
And throughout the show, we'll check in with our athletes as they swim, bike, and run.
The Ironman contest begins with a swim in the Del Mar Boat Basin, and that's where Petty Officer Miranda Williams is.
Thanks, Staff Sergeant. As you can see behind me, these swimmers are pumped up. Right now, many of them are just heading out of the water after having completed two 1.2-mile loops around the Del Mar Boat Basin.
It all began at 5 o'clock this morning when competitors began arriving here at Del Mar Beach to prepare for the long day ahead.
I'm stretching out, I'm getting mentally prepared, thinking about the swim and the run, thinking about how I'm going to race today, getting excited.
Each athlete set up their transition area and made last-minute inspections to make sure everything from their tire pressure to bike helmet was perfect. Then they donned their wetsuits and headed out to the boat basin. More than 1,600 triathletes thrashed their way through the water, working to establish their pace. 59 minutes into the race, the first swimmer exited the water. Many others are just now finishing.
The remaining swimmers still have time to finish this 2.4-mile course. The cutoff time for the course is 2 hours. Back to you, Staff Sergeant.
Thanks, JO2.
You know, that swim looks a little tougher than the 500 meters we can do for our semi-annual PRT.
Still 500 meters. I thought the Navy's PRT program had changed.
Well, it has, but the events are all the same, just some of the standards have changed.
And command fitness coordinators will be better trained to promote year-round fitness.
For more info, check out navadmin 063/00 or visit www.bupers.navy.mil.
Stick around, because when we return, we'll take you out to the bike course.
Stay right there.
Hello, shipmates. Mick Hurt here. My office has received several calls regarding rumors about changing the rites of passage for Chiefs initiation. They're exactly that, rumors. The Chiefs Board convenes July 6th and is scheduled to let out July 31st. We're able to start the board later than usual this year because we've doubled the number of Master Chiefs sitting on the board. As far as changes to the rite of passage, my directions are clear. Hold the course. We've got the training emphasis right where it needs to be to build the best Chief Petty Officers possible. We've been doing this the right way long enough that I fully expect the Chiefs Mess to understand the value of this process. All you've got to do to confirm that is look around any Chiefs Mess in the Navy. You'll see a more fit, professional mess than ever. Good luck, and until next time, I'll see you about the fleet.
It is more than a trial by fire. It is a rite of passage. And if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield even to yourself, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Welcome back to Navy Marine Corps News.
There are over 1,600 competitors taking part in Ironman California.
And throughout the course, there are many military volunteers who make this triathlon possible.
Here at Camp Pendleton, military units have volunteered their support for the race.
Petty Officer Lisa Borges is back with a look at one of those units, the Assault Amphibian School Battalion.
The AAV swims like an alligator looking for prey. It has the capability of going 50 miles per hour on land. Marines learn how to control this speedy gator at Amphibious Assault Battalion, Camp Pendleton.
We teach basic operators. We also teach basic maintenance. We teach intermediate maintenance. We have an amphibious officers course, and then also a course that's designed for the Marines who have been around for a while.
The amphibious assault vehicle's job is to get troops, supplies, and weapons from the sea to the battle. Students receive their training on this versatile vehicle through classroom time.
We don't call that a fuel shutoff valve. We call that our fuel control handle.
And out at the ramp, where they realize the value of their training.
It helps the Marine Corps a lot because it gives you the basic understanding how to operate AAV. And it builds the students' knowledge on that.
A hands-on education from experienced instructors isn't the only thing students get.
We just continue to instill all the qualities that we expect of all Marines. It's just another building block for them before they go off to the fleet.
When students return to the fleet as AAV experts, instructors and maintainers know they've made a difference.
The students are going through this school and also learn just like I did myself. So it feels pretty good to know that you're doing better for the Marine Corps.
Creating better Gator Marines and helping maintain that 911 force status. Petty Officer Lisa Borges, Navy Marine Corps News.
You can imagine that with so many people, it's got to be confusing to try and move from one area to another.
Yes, it is. For example, once competitors finish the swim, they have to find their own bikes parked with about 1,600 others.
And that all takes place in the transition area located behind us. Chief Ray Mooney is in that transition area.
Like tadpoles lose their tails, the swimmers shed their wetsuits, looking to make the transition from sea creatures to land travelers. But they're not using their legs, not yet. Right now they're looking for wheels.
150!
And among this maze of racks, the athletes have to hone in on their own bikes. Volunteers make that a little easier.
We're getting their bikes for them so that they're ready once they come out in the changing tent and they can go.
Gunnery Sergeant Frederickson has just finished the swim and is making his way to his bike. How you doing, Gunny?
Good. Feel real good. Had a good swim. Right on track.
Marine Lieutenant Dienard has just finished the swim and is about to mount her bike. How you doing, Lieutenant?
Just great. The water's kind of cold, but...
Hanging in there?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just the first part's over, so... The water's kind of refreshing, to tell you the truth.
Got a little cold out there, but it's not too bad.
Good luck.
See you later.
Well, most of the athletes have made their way out onto the bike course, and everything's looking great so far. Back to you, Staff Sergeant.
Thanks, Chief. For all the activity down there seemed to be a lot of order, though.
And to think athletes have been doing this for over 20 years.
In fact, Ironman began in 1978, and one of its founders is a retired sailor.
And we're pleased to introduce him, Captain John Collins. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Thank you. Actually, I wanted to get started about this to talk about how the event evolved.
Oh, okay. There were a lot of us who were endurance athletes out in Hawaii, and a lot of us were military, as a matter of fact. And we were reaching the point where we were never going to go any faster, but we could go longer. So we were doing things like 50-mile runs and ocean swims. And we were at an event, and we had learned triathlon here in San Diego, but we looked at the geography of Hawaii, and if we took the Waikiki Rough Water Swim, 2.4 miles, and we added to that about 112 miles of the 115-mile bike race around the island, and then that would put us on the starting line of the Honolulu Marathon. So I got up on the stage and proposed that we'd do it, said the gun would go off, and we'll keep going, and whoever finishes first, we'll call him the Iron Man.
So it wasn't just random that you chose these 3 events?
No, 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 no. The 3 events were actual events that everyone on the island of Oahu was very used to doing.
Great. Now, the Ironman triathlon phenomenon has grown so fast. How do you feel about it?
Well, I think it's wonderful. There are a lot of aspects to it. You can buy a good bicycle anywhere in the country now. There are swimming pools everywhere. The old question of who was in better shape, the answer is the triathlete is in better shape. It's a worldwide phenomenon. It's a wonderful thing.
Now, how do you think, of course there's a lot of military taking part in the race, especially today. How do you think that military experience helps them prepare for the Ironman?
Well, it wasn't any coincidence that most of the people that showed up on the starting line in 1978 had a military connection. You know, a military career is a marathon. There's a lot of keeping on in there. And when you're out there on the course and you're trying to decide whether to go on or stop, you know that you have to go on. And anybody who's done a military career knows that there's a lot of it there. So I think the triathlon is great preparation for the military career, and I think a military career is a fantastic preparation for a triathlon.
They do work well together. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us today.
My pleasure. Enjoy it.
Now it's time to continue our coverage of the racers' progress.
Petty Officer Chris Robinson is out on the course at a place called Dead Man's Curve.
Thanks, Staff Sergeant. I'm here at the Dead Man's Curve, one of the fastest, most dangerous parts of the bike leg. Now, cyclists will come down this hill, reaching speeds of 40 miles per hour with little room for error. Now, they'll have to face this curve twice because it's part of 2 56-mile loops around the base. The loops will take them 17 miles along Camp Pendleton coastline before taking them deep into the center of the base, where they'll face a wide variety of conditions and terrain. They'll whiz through fast straightaways and even faster downhills before reaching leg-burning climbs up steep hills, all trying to finish the 112-mile bike leg and coming that much closer to becoming an Ironman. Back to you, JO2.
Thanks, JO3. Earlier, we introduced you to Senior Chief Rick Myers, and while he grinds through the bike course, sailors from his unit ACU-5 have been doing their part to support the race.
They've been cheering on racers and providing volunteers throughout the course.
Corporal Scott Pesca introduces us to some of these sailors as we learn a little bit about what they do.
There's a 5-man crew. There's a operator, which is called a craft master.
Cons online.
Engineer and a navigator.
It's a blast. I have a good time.
And there's a load master.
I don't want nobody getting hurt.
And a deck mechanic.
I do the best I can because I'm proud of what I do.
The crews of Landing Craft Air Cushion, or LCAC, are the only all-enlisted crew in the U.S. Navy. Their mission is
transport the Marines from the ship to shore as fast as possible and as smooth as possible.
It's always a good time. They always try and make it a good ride for you.
The enlisted LCAC crews of ACU-5 have a strong sense of pride because they are trusted with the safety of the Marines and the equipment they transport, and have full responsibility for operating and maintaining a multi-million-dollar craft, like Chief Engineer Treadwell.
When I'm on that craft, that's mine. That's nobody else's. That's mine. The operator puts that boat in my hands. I like that responsibility and I like that challenge.
And although it's hard work, they say the effort is worth it.
I try and do the best job that I can do. I do my job probably about 110%. Been here 6 years and I don't plan on going anywhere else.
A major reason they don't want to leave is because sailors at ACU-5 and the LCAC community are a close-knit team. In fact, you could say
it's kind of like a family. We're a team. Everybody's help doing something makes everything run smooth.
Corporal Scott Pesca.
That's what makes the Navy so great.
Navy Marine Corps News.
Marines now have more choices in ways to access their pay information without using paperwork.
Thanks to the employee member self-service system, Marines can access and change their pay information on the telephone or with the computer.
You can perform a variety of tasks like changing allotments and withholdings.
And it's safe because you need your PIN and social security number to access your pay.
If you have any questions, call toll-free 1-800-390-2348 or DSN 580-5122.
Or to access the system, just check out the website on the screen.
Now we're 2/3 of the way through the Ironman, so don't go away. When we return, we'll show the competitors as they run for the finish line.
We'll be right back.
The equipment that the Navy has is state-of-the-art.
A lot of the equipment that I work with is leading technology.
I spent most of my Navy career working in satellite communications.
I actually went through 15 months of school.
Been through very extensive training in mathematics, physics, chemistry.
They train you to be the best, and they expect you to be the best.
It probably would have cost me around $25,000 for the total amount of training I went through.
My parents were very excited that the Navy was going to pay for 4 years of college.
College professors come aboard to teach us while underway.
I am 2 courses away from my criminal justice degree.
What you've seen is just part of the story. Call this number now for your free 12-minute video and see what Navy life is really like. Check out the jobs, training, and money for college that are waiting for you.
My Navy experience allowed me to step right into a respectable and fun job.
Navy, let the journey begin.
Welcome back to Navy Marine Corps News and our coverage of Ironman California at Camp Pendleton.
Throughout the week, we've talked with many of the sailors, Marines, and family members from around the world who've come here for the competition.
Whether they're competing, volunteering, or watching, everyone is excited.
Petty Officer Chris Robinson takes a look at the enthusiastic group.
For Ironman volunteers, it's more than just giving out participant packs and passing out water. It's a chance to really be a part of the grueling Ironman and admire the athletes.
We all volunteered this morning. Figure it's just a way to come out here and help other people, watch their physical fitness go through the course.
Go, Brian! It's fun. I like running and stuff, so I can't really run today, so I might as well help out as much as I could.
Of course, some of the most important volunteers are Marines and sailors. They have made Ironman Week a success.
We've got about 3,500 volunteers, and we haven't added it up, but I'd estimate around 1,200 to 1,300 are going to be Marine Corps and Navy personnel. They're everything.
The can-do attitude of all the volunteers here means a lot to the athletes, especially an Ironman world champion.
The volunteers at the Ironman races are so incredible. It's basically they're what get you through the entire race, and they're totally out there cheering you on and supporting you at every single aid station, and they just keep you going the whole way and keep you motivated.
For Navy Marine Corps News, Petty Officer Chris Robinson.
I'm sure the encouragement from the fans really boosts the racers' will to continue.
And with good reason, because at this point they've completed a 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile bicycle ride, and now they're beginning the 26.2-mile marathon.
They've got to be running on pure adrenaline now. Petty Officer Miranda Williams is back with a look at their progress.
These dedicated triathletes have come a long way, and now they're making their way through a marathon. Now that's determination. This course takes runners for 2 13.1-mile loops along the shoreline of several oceanside beaches with a spectacular view of the Pacific Ocean.
I came out here to support, the Navy and my fellow Marines out here in this Ironman competition. And I thought that if I come down here, and I could probably just give them some of my support. Yay! Way to go, stay motivated!
Right now, some racers are walking or have even slowed to eat or drink. As you can see in the faces of these competitors, many are in a tremendous amount of pain and are using every bit of energy to keep going.
Almost home.
But after all they've been through in their training and here on race day, obviously quitting is not an option. So we hope to see all of them at the finish line. Back to you, Staff Sergeant.
The determination and perseverance of these competitors is amazing. What an accomplishment.
Those who completed the 140.6 miles have earned the title Ironman.
After talking with many of the competitors, I got the impression that the Ironman is more a personal test than a race against others.
And even though some participants entered to win, many considered just finishing a victory.
After 17 hours of racing, all that remains is the award ceremony. Corporal Scott Pesca has the story.
It's my first Ironman, I'll always remember that.
Approximately 12 hours and 34 minutes after it started, the Ironman journey for First Lieutenant Patricia Dienhart ended. During the time she had been pushing her body to the limits, you could have watched 4 NFL football games back to back. Lieutenant Dienhart finished 4th in her age category. The other 2 triathletes we profiled earlier on in the show, along with other sailors and Marines, also completed this grueling race. Gunnery Sergeant Stephen Fredericks finished in 16 hours 46 minutes, and Senior Chief Richard Meyer finished in 12 hours 55 minutes.
It's really motivating you to know that you have that type of support. And I think it's also a great way for us to show to the civilian community that we're here for them too.
The top woman finisher, Heather Fuhr, came in at 9 hours and 59 minutes. Heather said it was the Marines along the way that helped motivate her to a good finish.
It was nice to have them out there, and like I say, it was like a little energy boost when they started cheering.
And at 8 hours 56 minutes, no one in the field finished faster than Christopher Lee. The Marines along the way also impressed the winner of the first California Triathlon.
First memorable because it was the first Ironman in California, and this is the birthplace of the sport, and then also because it's in a Marine base.
There were other winners during the Ironman competition, not against another person or team, but against time.
When they got that cadence going, I said, I better hurry because they're going to run over me.
77-year-old Bill Bell finished his 30th Ironman and would gladly do it all over again. There were also winners who didn't race, but were part of the festivities. Lance Corporal Juan Estrada's fellow hard chargers of 1st Battalion, 1st Marines literally pulled together to win him a new car. This year's Ironman California is the only Ironman distance triathlon to be hosted in the San Diego area, the birthplace of the sport. But it seems everyone involved eagerly awaits another.
We want to come back. We want to be with all you guys. Semper Fi.
Corporal Scott Pesca, Navy Marine Corps News.
Well, that's the show for this week.
We'd like to hear your thoughts and ideas about Navy Marine Corps news, so call our feedback line or send us an email.
The number and address are coming up in a minute, but hey, before we go, we'd like to thank the Marines and sailors here at Camp Pendleton, who did such a great job making the Ironman California such a success.
One thing about watching an event like this is it motivates you to work harder on your own physical conditioning program.
You're right. We leave you this week with highlights of the quest for the title of Ironman.
We'll see you next week.